To all of my motherfucking free game people out there, man. To all of my FNB people out there, man. Don't mind the bedhead. I actually did just get out of bed. It's midday at the moment, about 10 something. Just got out the bed, feel me? But I want to make a part 2 to that video when I was talking about awareness is key. I want to make a part 2 to that because there's more that I want to go in depth with that kind of just came to my mind just now, and I feel like it's important to say. So, and hopefully I can make this as quick as possible. So, along with the fact that when you lack awareness of yourself, you create these entities that sit in your lack of awareness that can influence the way you act and choose to do things, right? I want to go into details with that. So, with those entities that may sit within your awareness, right? Or within your unawareness, I should say, it will cause you, it will feed off of your energy, which may sometimes cause you to have a hard time being happy, may find you having a hard time doing certain things, finding healthy relationships. And I'm not just saying boyfriend girlfriend shit, because it's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? It could be friendships, family relationships, anything along those lines, right? When you have when you have trouble and you don't know yourself too well, and you are like very unaware, those entities feed off of any energy that it can, and it keeps you in that lower state of being. The whole goal, once you create these entities, one good way to think about it is a state of being. Once you create these entities in this state of being, those entities want to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to disappear. So if you create those entities and you are in a sad state, you are negative, you don't feel good about yourself in that moment. These things want you to stay like that because that's how they came to exist. Sorry, y'all. You got to drink some water the first thing in the morning. Get your system running. You know what I'm saying? But these entities came to exist in that state of being that you was in. So when you was at your lowest and you created this entity through your pattern of thinking and through your self-worth, it now exists in that state of being. So that means until you become aware of that thing, until you become aware of why, of where it comes from, and until you gain more, some would say spiritual awareness, some would just say just mental awareness, whatever you want to call it. But until you gain more awareness of yourself, you will forever be in that state of being. And as well, and this is another big part of this, is that along with that, you will never be able to have anybody around you that's at a higher level, because you will always drag them down. You will always bring them down to your level, because no matter what, I've learned this myself. It's harder for a person that's up here, and this is just, I'm not talking about, I don't want y'all to just take this out of context, so I'm gonna be real detailed actually. It's harder for somebody that's at a higher vibratory state to bring somebody up that's at a lower. You know what I'm saying? I believe, unless you have been at that higher vibratory state for a very, very long time, to where you are unwavering, you won't change. But even in that sense, my nigga, it's much, much harder for a motherfucker to try to pull you out of something when you at a lower state. Because when if I'm trying to pull you out of something, let's say, for example, my nigga, I'm your friend. and you a negative ass nigga or a negative ass female, and all you think of, and you only negative because you just don't know yourself super well. So I'm trying to tell you, like, no, my nigga, you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're a handsome young man. You smart. You feel me? You educated. And you like, nah, nigga, I'm stupid, man. I don't look good. They don't fuck with me. Woo, woo. And you just got so much negative energy to the world. And then along with that, I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm like, man, we straight. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, when you got two polar, different, opposite sides, they see the world differently. So I'm seeing the world totally differently than you, my nigga. So as I'm going through my existence and I'm telling you how I feel about the world and what I'm saying, and I'm trying to influence my positive nature into you. For one, what I'm doing and what makes it so hard for me to pull you out of that is fucking the fact that I'm challenging your reality. So as I'm challenging your reality, you're not seeing me as somebody that's helping you. You see me as your enemy. You seeing me as a nigga that don't fuck with you for real. Because if I did, I will affirm your reality. This is very much why when you go on social media platforms, you niggas don't mind sharing their opinion on there because of the fact that you will get a whole slew of motherfuckers that will affirm it, whether it be wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Because social media is just that you be in the echo chamber through the algorithm. So all your points, whether they be good or bad, or they make sense or they don't make sense, you are fuck, my fault, burps all around the bitch. You are in a state where, nigga, you are just in an echo chamber where everybody that hears this point obviously is gonna agree because it's through the algorithm that is feeding them these type of points, right? So, nigga, it's harder. It becomes harder now. In the days we live in now, it becomes harder because people aren't as exposed to opinions that's not their own. That opinions of others. We aren't as exposed to other people's opinions and other people's realities. So I say that all that to say that it's harder right now than it ever has been to convince somebody of something that they don't believe. Feel me? So let's say, let's go back to the example. I'm doing everything in my power to convince you of something that you don't believe. And the fucked up part is that your belief is creating this reality. So then as you believe these things start to happen to you. And you just slowly like, damn, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck is this nigga telling me this? And this is what I'm seeing. This nigga obviously don't got my best interest. See what I'm saying? And then you know what that can also turn into? Now I have some form of subconscious frustration towards, or you will have some type of subconscious frustration towards me as a motherfucker that's trying to help, because you won't view me as somebody that's trying to help. You will view me as a nigga that's just trying to say fuck with what the fuck you seeing, nigga. Think this way. I'm trying to tell you not to be the way that you feel is the need to be internally, that you believe you need to be, that you believe is going on in your reality. Not cause I may be of a different understanding. I might be able to understand it because I understand for myself, and this is my belief, that I create my reality through my mental space. This is the architect up here, my nigga, or I am the architect, and my mind helps me build it, helps me create the blueprints, and then my reality is the house. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I understand that I create my reality. So I'll be in the, I have experienced this. So that's why I want to come on here and tell you, because it popped in my mind. So when you are, and this is why it's so important to become very aware, because you can be naturally draining people and not know it. I've been this way for sure. Before I became more spiritually aware of myself, I was a drainer in many ways. And who knows? I'm not perfect, y'all. Who knows? Maybe I still do in some ways. And if you know me personally and you watching this video, tell me right now, my nigga, so I can go down, go to my room, cut off all the lights, make it real dark in that bitch, and meditate until I can figure that shit out. Because you will always be in a bad or fucked up position if you do not become aware. And you will always push out people that's trying to pull you out of that position. You see what I'm saying? Because after a while, if you a motherfucker that's more aware and you trying to tell somebody that they not this and they don't believe it, after a while you gonna be just like them. You gonna suffer they fate. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Well, you don't have to. This is completely your choice. I give a fuck, but I don't. You don't have to do nothing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But I would suggest you become more aware, because you may be draining people and you don't know it because you are not aware. You know what I'm saying? So, do y'all best. You feel me? Learn yourself. And this should become a lot easier over time. It never becomes. And this is another thing too. And I'm gonna throw this. This is my last thing before I get up out of here. When it come to all this shit that I be saying and all the talking and all the things that I may feel, that could help people, this shit never becomes like, you don't ever get to a point where everything just flowing easily, my nigga. That is not how it works. You just come to a point where you are okay because you have such an understanding of yourself and of the way your reality works, that no matter what is going on and is presenting into your reality, you always know that it's working in your favor. So you don't emotionally react as much. You don't internally shift so much to the point to where now you are being controlled by your reality through things happening. So now you're just being pulled every which way. As you become more aware, you now just become more emotionally detached from reality itself, and more so internally invested. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say to y'all, man. Free game people, I love the fuck out of y'all, man. I really do. Even though it's only about 19 of y'all, it's appreciated. Every time I get 3-4 viewers, it's appreciated. I appreciate all 3, 4, 5 of my consistent viewers. I appreciate y'all. And then all the people that watch me on TikTok from time to time at FNB-Face44. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the fuck out of y'all. Thank y'all for all y'all contribution. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for even taking the time to consider me as somebody that you would want to listen to. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? This isn't something that happens that everybody get to do. Not everybody want to listen to everybody. So I just appreciate that y'all take y'all time out when y'all do to listen. So free game, I love y'all. FNB, I love y'all. I'm out of here.